Hey guys, what's going on? This is Chunji Akuma, and today I'm going to go over my level 50 Invincible Esper guide. So let's get right to it with the abilities. First off, you're going to want to pick up Mind Burst. Now, Mind Burst can be interchanged with any of the other finishers. However, I seem to like Mind Burst more simply because it hits multiple targets and it's our burst ability. What I like to do is I like to make this tier 8 because of the tier 8 bonus. This will increase your critical hit chance by 15% for 7.5 seconds. This is amazing and will help you greatly while you're using your auto attack, which is Psychic Frenzy. You're going to want to have this to at least tier 4, otherwise you're going to have a hard time surviving. The tier 4 bonus is each blade heals you for 25% of the damage they deal. So if I'm doing 1,000 damage per hit, I'm getting 100 health back per hit. This is amazing, and I simply have it at tier 5 just because I had the extra points. Now when it comes to support, you're only going to want this one ability, Bolster. Bolster is simply there for, well, two reasons, I suppose. The first one is to get you psi points. This gets you 2 psi points instantly, which is amazing, so you can use your burst ability. And it also heals you for a pretty decent amount considering your DPS. This heals me at 50 for about 250 per tick. So if both of them are going, I'm getting about 500 health back every second. This is pretty nice, and it's definitely useful for melee DPS. When it comes to utility, one of your most important skills along with your auto attack skill is Geist. This does two things for you. First of all, when it's out, it will reduce damage taken by 15%. Now, when you're fighting multiple opponents, this is freaking amazing. 15% off of 4 opponents attacking you is quite a bit of damage. Not only that, Geist will also give you health back at tier 4. At tier 4, Geist grants 60% lifesteal for everything he hits. So if he hits for 100, he's going to give you 60 health back. Now he generally hits for a lot more than that, and I've seen him crit up to about 1,200. So this is definitely a good pickup, and it'll help you survive a lot better in open world PvP. Your next ability that's extremely important and should not be taken off your LES is Fade Out. The reason for this is for two reasons. First off, Fade Out is your CC breaker. So if you get stunned, you can use this and it'll take off all CCs. But secondly, if anyone's near you and gets hit by this, it will also reduce all damage they deal to you by 25% for 4 seconds. This is amazing for when you're getting attacked by multiple opponents. The next ability is Catharsis. Catharsis is the second ability you should not take off your bar. This is extremely important along with Fade Out. The reason for this is because it cleanses 2 debuffs. Now you're going to notice in open world, in BGs, and arena, you're going to have a lot of things like 50% reduction of your healing. Now if you can't heal yourself through auto attacks and your Geist and so forth, you're going to die a lot quicker and you're not going to be able to fight many opponents. So this is the second skill that I highly recommend that you keep on along with Fade Out. The next ability I have under the utilities section is Incapacitate. Now this can be interchanged with any other CC you choose or any other DPS skill you like. But this is just what I currently have in my bar. The next ability you have in your bar is Projected Spirit. Projected Spirit is amazing. First off, it can help you catch up to targets, it can also help you escape from targets, and it's a ginormous heal, especially for a DPS Esper. This heals you for approximately 5,000 health, but it can crit heal you for up to 8,000 health. This is basically our burst heal, and I highly suggest it because it's, well, freaking amazing. Next up are your level 50 amps. Now this is how I like it set up for many reasons, and we'll go over that really quickly. First off, in your assault tree, you're just going to get the 1, 2, and 3 of assault power. This just increases your assault power, which makes you hit harder. The next ability I chose is True Sight. This is, once you're above 3 psi points, you gain it in power, which increases your strike through chance by 8%. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but you seem to get deflected quite a bit on your finisher move. This will help you not be deflected very frequently. I'm almost never deflected nowadays. Next up is the Hybrid Assault Support section. Now I put it into critical hit chance because the more you can grit, the better. In tier 2 you have No Pain No. This amp is one of my favorite amps because it will give you a psi point when you're hit. Now there's only a 10% chance this will happen, but when you're fighting multiple opponents or multiple mobs, this feels a lot more, 50, 60, 70% more. So this is something I suggest picking up. If you don't choose this, I highly recommend Refund. This helps a lot for when you get deflected, you'll get psi points back. The next section is Hybrid Support Utility. Now, between these two, Maximum Shield Capacity and PvP Defense, I would more than likely put it into Maximum Shield Capacity just because PvP Defense and the PvP attributes are really not that good right now. So this just increases your shield, which helps you last longer. Now the main reason you put it into this section is so you can get the tier 2, which is Psychic Barrier. This, while taking damage, has a 50% chance to grant you defense. This defense will increase your critical hit chance deflection rate by 12% for 5 seconds. This is ridiculous. This is probably one of our strongest amps simply because you are almost uncrittable when this is procced on you. Now you can be crit, don't get me wrong, but this helps tremendously. Next up is utilities. I put it in cooldown reduction so that I can use all my skills quicker and just my rest of my points into CC resilience, because the less you're CC'd, the more damage you can do. The main reason you put it into this section at all is so you can get tier 2 molasses. Now I'm still testing this, but this is one of those skills that while you're rooted, snared, or tethered, which everything that a stalker does, will give you an absorb that's 826 damage. Now this isn't a very big absorb, but it does help you survive a lot more. So this is just what I've chosen, and it's actually helped me quite a bit, more than I expected. The final area is hybrid assault utility. Now I put this into lifesteal because, well, your other choice is PvP offense, and as we know, the PvP attributes are pretty much trash. So I put it into lifesteal so it helps me survive longer, especially in the open world and in BGs. The reason we put it into this is so we can get the tier 2 The Humanity and tier 2 No Remorse. Now, No Remorse deals an additional 345 damage to snared foes. Now you're like, well, I don't snare foes. Well, you will once you get the tier 3 Slow It Down. Also, I highly suggest you look into the weapon attachment that has Slow It Down on it so that you can also use this ability. Now, Slow It Down has a 25% chance to land a snare that reduces movement speed by 30% for 5 seconds. So while that's active, you'll be doing an extra 345 damage. So that's really nice. I'm still testing this. I'm not sure if I like this when compared to Figment, but I'm still looking into it. This is just really nice so people can't escape me very easily. Now, when it comes to the Humanity, this is once you land a finisher on a foe below 30% health, this will deal an additional 824 magic damage. This is super nice, guys, because once they're already low, sometimes it's hard to finish people off. So this just gives you that extra boost to completely destroy them. Now, guys, if you watched my other video for level 25, you know there are some weaknesses and strengths, and they are about the same. So let me go over them really quick. Some of the weaknesses of this build are as follows. You need to be very aware of CC and when to use your CC break, because we only have one CC break. If we use it too soon, we're going to have a lot of issues when we get CC'd once again, because if you're not auto-attacking, you're not gaining health back, which means you're more than likely going to die a lot quicker. Also, you are a terrible, terrible flag carrier. Do not pick up the flag unless, first off, you have a healer with you, or you're sure you can get back to the flag room without being attacked by too many targets. Now, if you're being followed by 1 target, 2 targets, sure, go ahead, auto-attack them and kill them and get back to the flag room. That's completely fine. But overall, you're not that great of a flag carrier, and you're better off just trying to help someone else get the flag themselves. Now, guys, the last weakness I have for you is that high burst is really bad for us. So if you're facing a spell slinger and you're being hit by every single one of their attacks, you're going to have a really bad time because your auto attacks cannot out heal 7 or 8k crits back to back to back. So be very aware of that and try to avoid all the burst you can. Now, don't get discouraged, guys. There are some major strengths to this build that I'd like to discuss. First off, this can grind tons and tons of creatures all at once. I've taken 10 plus creatures and have grinded them down extremely quickly and ended at full health. This is one of those great builds if you just want to go and quest really quick. I would highly suggest using it. Also, this build can last forever, meaning you can guard your Moody Mask Room and one of the points in the Bloodsworn PvP map. So you're a great defender, so if you're looking to defend, this is one of those specs that, well, will help you greatly. Alright guys, the last thing I want to talk to you about is what I personally use this build for. I use this for open world PvP, AoE grinding, doing my dailies every single day because it's a lot safer to do it in this than in a PvE spec, practice BGs because I really do well in practice BGs, as well as arenas. Now I do run this amp set in rated arenas, however, in my LAS I do change around a few skills. I like to bring Crush and I also like to bring Restraint, and I usually replace my Geist and I also replace my Incapacitate when I'm running this in rated arenas. Well guys, that's my level 50 Invincible Esper build. Feel free to ask me any questions you have about it in the comment section below and I'll get to you as soon as possible. Also, if you'd like me to test out anything specific, let me know and I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll see you guys next time.